I'm Chris Woodward, Executive Editor for Sport Fishing. We're here to talk about some of the most popular saltwater fishing boats on the water today, Sea Chaser and Carolina Skiff. And on our panel today, we have Jim Hendricks, West Coast Editor for Sport Fishing, Robert Sass, Sales and Marketing Manager for Carolina Skiff LLC, and Captain Don Dingman, host of Hook the Future TV. Don also is currently running a 30-foot Sea Chaser in his television show. All right, we've got a few questions to start this off, guys, and then we'll go from there. First of all, Carolina Skiff Sea Chaser has really grown well beyond the simple but extremely popular rolled edge skiffs that served as the company's early foundation. How many boat brands do you actually have now in the Carolina Skiff, under the Carolina Skiff umbrella?
Currently, we have 4 brands. We have the Carolina Skiff, we have the Sea Chaser, we have our Fun Chaser brand, and our Aggressor brand.
How many can you number the number of fishing models that in total that you have for saltwater anglers today?
Well, right now, the total models that we have to offer are 52.
Wow. That's an impressive number of models. Robert, what's the biggest model in the line right now?
Well, the biggest model is in our Sea Chaser line, and that's a 35-foot offshore.
Wow. So, Don, you run the 30-footer. What kind of fishing do you do on that boat?
Everything. So I'm a charter captain in Jacksonville, and then I have the TV show Hook the Future. So in Jacksonville, in the summertime fishing, we're doing sails, cobia, kingfish, that kind of thing. Right now it's mahi. Wintertime is high-speed wahoo. And the fall, I'm catching big redfish in the river, black drum in the river. So just about everything. And then on the show, we've shot all kind of fishing with it. So just about everything. I love it because it's so versatile, and I can trailer it around and get it where I need to be and still get offshore.
Yeah.
Robert, can you tell us kind of the main differences you see between the Sea Chaser and Carolina Skiff brands?
Well, the main differences that we see is, the Sea Chaser is more of your deep V line, bay boat, offshore style. And then when you get to the Carolina Skiff, it's more of your multifunctional, multiverse style boat where you have everything from kind of the skinny water all the way up to go into deep water if you want to. We make modified, V-hull style bottoms that are cathedral hulls, and these are everything that can float 4 inches of water to 400 fathoms. So You can do anything and go anywhere with them.
So, Robert, what are some of the best-selling fishing models in the Sea Chaser line today?
The best-selling right now in the Sea Chaser line is our LX model, which is the bay boats. The bay boats really have taken off, especially since the pandemic, and watched, the boating industry just grow in general with recreational boating. But the bay boat, our 23-footer is the top seller. After that, it goes into our offshore line, our HFC, and that will be our 24. That's the top selling.
Do you think that's just because it's a good all-around size for a family or for a couple of anglers, who want to go in together on a boat? Or why do you think those are so popular?
It has a lot to do with size, and it's something that a family can manage, or even a single boater can still manage. It's still trailerable. You can still tow this, behind just a normal V8 vehicle. That's what I see. There's when it came, the time of the pandemic, families had to find new ways to do, family entertainment instead of just allowing the kids to go do what they want and, head off to, a theme park somewhere. They decided to get back to bringing the family together, and doing that with boating is what's happened.
Interesting.
So how has the pandemic affected boat sales for Sea Chaser and Carolina Skiff?
It's affected in a positive way. We have definitely seen a surge in boat sales.
Can you quantify that at all? Is it like twice as much as it was in the summer of 2019?
Only thing that I can quantify is going off of what we're seeing is it's right at about a 30% increase in overall sales for us. But when you're looking at it as a whole, the drive for it has been remarkable across the entire lines. Everything from the Carolina Skiff to the Sea Chaser has been selling really well.
Well, and I have to say something there about the line itself that has a lot to do with that. I mean, I'm a hardcore guy. So the Sea Chaser line in the boat I'm running is very hardcore. And there's not everybody's like that, you know? And so there's a lot of new boat buyers that don't have a big boat diesel truck with a triple hitch lock on the back. And, you know, they come to the boat shows just wanting to take their family out and go fishing and have fun. And Carolina Skiff's got a line for everybody. I mean, if you walk through these boats and see what's on it for the price you spend and the value you get, you know, families see that and they want more of it. And, you know, Robert was talking about all the models that they have. I mean, there's a lot to choose from. And so when you're you know, it's real easy for me to say, I want this and I need this for my downrigger and my electric reel's got to plug in here. You know, I'm hardcore, but a lot of people come to the shows and you can go in the boat industry. They don't know what they want. And so Carolina Skiff's got a whole lot with the Sea Chaser and Carolina Skiff line out there that people can pick and choose and maybe pull behind their little SUV for a family of 4. And they just want to go to the lake for the day. So I think that has a lot to do with it, is the line's just, you know, pretty versatile and impressive. I mean, for the average boater as well as the hardcore guy.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're thinking about being versatile, we have enough product line and we have a lot of models to choose from. So your first time boater can come into the line and pick a small boat that he can pull and manage himself, and then grow into something bigger to be more hardcore, and stay in the family line of Carolina Skiff or Sea Chaser, because you can start off with a 16-foot boat that it's just you and your kid or you and your wife can handle. And then as your family grows, you need to grow that boat. So then you can easily go in and then upgrade to a 20-footer or upgrade to a 25-footer, whatever you need.
Robert, how long has Sea Chaser been making the 30+ foot center consoles?
Those are relatively new. Those have been in process now for about 3.5 years.
So I'd like to ask a question, get back to the sales surge that you're experiencing right now. It sounds like you're getting a lot of new boaters coming in, buying boats, as well as veteran boaters. But what steps are you taking to try to keep up with the demand for boats right now?
What steps are we taking? Let's see. We're constantly putting out ads that we're hiring. We're even working with, you know, local trade schools, just trying to get people into the industry. It's been a tough journey to get people to come into actually being a boat builder, but we're willing to take people without experience and train them and get them into being, you know, in a career in this industry. But that's what we're doing. I mean, it's been a tough road. Not to try and paint a rosy picture here, but, you know, manufacturing segment is hurting right now, and it's hurting for employees.
Oh, okay. So that's what you mean. It's
hurting for employees. I mean, think of this is that, you know, we've got plenty of sales that's happening. So we have the orders that come in for the new product, but it's taking months to get deliveries done. And then the reason is because of just the number of product that we need to be building to ship basically from the Keys all the way up to Maine, right, is where boat sales are happening.
Right.
So it's more a personnel issue than it is a supply issue.
No, it's both. Personnel is the biggest one, but we do have supply issues. I mean, we have vendors that we buy hardware from, and then the raw goods that we get to make the product, and even them. I mean, they are having the same issues with labor. You know, employment is a big issue across the nation.
Yeah, it's important to note that, because I know a lot of people are curious about what's going on. Hey, why can't I get my boat? All that type of thing. And so it's good to speak to that and for them to understand that, you know, there are just some limitations that are beyond our control at this point
Yes.
in the industry. So that's good. Now, Don, I was curious about your 30-footer. What are some of the favorite features that you have on that boat?
The fishability, the room I have, the back end, the open deck is so roomy. I mean, I got 2 huge live wells, so I can split my bait and chum all day long, and plenty of room to fish. It's just really fishy. I mean, they first came out with the 24 and the 27, and I saw it a couple of years ago, and I was trying to think, like, well, what else could they put on this that they haven't? I mean, it's got tackles, container storage, it's got leader storage, just everything. And you know how captains are, Chris. You know, we have a place for everything. I got to have it right here. You know where my number 6 hook's in the left drawer on the right. You know, and it has a place for everything. And so I like it. And like I say, we fished everything. We have to, one day we're fishing for permit on the Gulf side. The next time we're 40 miles offshore Jacksonville trolling for tuna or mahi. So it's been real versatile for us, and I like it. I mean, I've fished a lot of high dollar boats that this delivers just the same ride and performance. I mean, I'm not disappointed at all. Everything has been above my expectations. And I have high expectations. And so I got to be honest with you. I was one of the first ones when Robert started, they were building these big boats. So I'm like, yeah, well, let's see what comes out here. And, it's always, nobody wants the first few, and see what the learning curve is and all that. And I got to say, Joe and the rest of the staff there, they've got a great vision there. I mean, it's, the way the boat's set up, my clients are really comfortable. The seats fold up. They get out of the way when I'm fishing. They fold down when they want to ride. Wash down, freshwater shower. So from the ladies on my boat wanting a place to put things or use the restroom or clean off after they go diving, all that's right there. And I still have a big dive door if I want to slide a swordfish up in there. And it's just real fishy. I got plenty of room. It's got like 18 rod holders on it. So I'm a fisherman. So this model is so fishy. I mean, it's, I love it because of that.
For the family members, Robert, what would you say are the best features of those larger center consoles?
Well, I mean, for the family, I mean, what you've got is you've got plenty of seating on the boat. We've got the jump seats in the rear that give you plenty of seating back there. You have bow seating with plug-in tables. So if you're just wanting to get out there with the family and cruise around and enjoy a day on the water, you've got a place to do that. You've got a place to picnic. The onboard head, flushable heads there, which, the wives and the kids always like that. But it's just got there's a lot of room in the boat as well. So whether you're rigging it up to go fishing or rigging it up to take the family out for, just a day on the water, it can do it all.
Thanks. What I'd like to ask, what are, a lot of boat companies now partner exclusively with outboard companies. Does Carolina Skiff do that, or do you offer a wide range of motor brands?
We offer a wide range. We just really want to make sure that the Carolina Skiff customer has that choice. We're not pinning them down. Brand loyalty to us is good, but also, you still want to give choice to the customer. So we try to allow that because not everybody, brand loyalty is like everything else. Their opinions and, people may like it or not like it. So guy that wants a Honda can get a Honda. The guy that wants a Suzuki can get a Suzuki. If a guy wants a Yamaha, he can get a Yamaha, or Mercury, he can get a Mercury. Mm-hmm. So we give them the choice.
So is that decision's made at the factory or at the dealer level?
Well, that's going to be made at the dealer level.
Okay.
And because of that being made at the dealer level, it's going to be at a point to where it's up to the dealer and the motor lines that he carries.
I gotcha. Personally speaking, do you have a favorite model? I'll throw it out to both of you. Favorite model in the line that you really, if you said, "Hey, I want that," they're going to give me a boat. Which, good luck with that. But
I can answer
John's got it.
I can answer that question really easy. I've been running them for a long time, and I had the 19 LS and the 21 LS. And so those two boats, for the price that you get, I mean, I could run with 5 people and 5 inches of water wide open without a jack plate, and still go out to the bay and catch redfish at the inlet or kingfish or cobia coming down the beach 3 miles out, that kind of thing. So I really love that boat. But I got to say, I do get to fish whatever boat I want every year. And I'm an offshore guy. And so I'm getting another 30, but I have to say, I was so impressed with the 26 Ultra that I'm buying one of those for me personally. So to keep, because of the value of that boat, and I can do anything, and I'm getting old, man. And that anchor gets a little heavy, So I'm looking forward to one of those trolling motors on the front to pinpoint, to stop lock and all that. These young guys are kind of getting to the spot a little quicker for that. And that Ultra Elite series, when you start talking to the dealers, and they all just almost salivate over that 26 Ultra, like, man, this is a nice boat. If I was going to get one, I'd get one of these. And after hearing like 6 boats dealers say that, over 2 years, I ordered a new 30 for the show and all that. And then I'm buying the 26 Ultra. So Because, you know, I can fish in Tampa in the bay or come over here and catch redfish in the inlet here.
Yeah, I mean, Don hit it all. I mean, if I was going to pick one, if I had to actually say what boat do I want, I would go for the Carolina Skiff 23 Ultra Elite. I mean, still in the ultra line, still has all the amenities for fishing and cruising and just bringing the family together and having fun. And that boat kind of does it all.
And again, I'm charter, and so I'm always thinking I gotta have room for 5 people, and that's why the 26 instead of the 23 actually is just because of the charter.
Can you describe also some of the most popular options that saltwater anglers are ordering from the factory?
Really all of them. I mean, most of the time when you get an order come in, just about every option is listed on the boat, and most of that has anything to do with adding an extra paint well to adding a T-top, and you can go from a canvas top to a fully molded top that has the speakers and the electronic box all molded into it. So really the options are pretty loaded when they're actually being ordered. Adding fishing seats, adding a leaning post versus a cooler frame. I mean, the leaning posts are real popular now because it gives you extra storage and rod storage as well.
So someday this pandemic will be over. And do you believe that the boat sales will continue to grow once we're on the other side of all this?
In my opinion, I think it will. And here's why I think that way. I think it that way because this has awakening the outdoor segment again. It used to be big. I remember being young and little back, in the 70s and 80s to where that was the thing that you did. You went out with the family, you went camping, you loaded up in the station wagon or the van and you went to places you want to go. And when you got there, you was renting boats or you had your own boat to use. And those were the things that we did. And for some reason, as the generation changed and, technology became more of a big role of what I would call being the kind of the babysitter at home. You'd set your kid in front of the TV and pop in the VCR tape, and watch a movie, or you'd set him in front of the TV and you have his game console and he's playing video games. And to me, the family disconnection started happening. And you had less and less of that being together as a family. I mean, I remember sitting around, having to go to dinner and you'd sit at the dinner table and you sat around the dinner table as a family. And then you saw that kind of change and, kids were eating in their rooms, mom and dad's eating, at the counter in the kitchen. It was no more bringing it together. And I think that this pandemic woke that back up because it forced them to go, hey, here we are, we're kind of confined. We got to stay together. So what can we do to have fun? And dad probably woke up and go, wow, I remember doing that with my parents. Let's go get a boat and go out and have some fun, and so that I saw that change. And I think that's going to stay in play. You might lose some, but I think for a majority of them, it's going to be a thing to where they're realizing that this is something fun. This is something that the family can do together. It brings everyone together. And I think it's going to continue that way.
Do either of you have basic advice for first-time boat buyers?
Yeah.
Don, I'll let you take this one.
For me, it's try to focus in on what you want because there's so much out there. And you're so likely, if you don't do your research, you just go to the boat show for the first time and you're going to like everything. Whatever dealer you talk to, that's the model that you could get talked into. So I really think do your homework. If you're a boat buyer and you want to do your homework, and I've been blessed with Hook the Future. I've had, I can fish what I want, and I want to be with Carolina Skiff because they believe in what I believe in, and they deliver, families, fun, and fishing. That's what we're about, and that's what they're about. And so I don't know. I think when you go to buy it, you need to know what you want. Everybody wants, do you want more of an inshore bay boat or more of an offshore bay boat if you're going to fish? Are you going to spend your time on the lake or on the river with a lot of chop? Are you going to be going in the creeks for shallow fishing or going offshore? So you have to kind of narrow it in a little bit because there are so many models and everybody wants every one boat to do it all. And there's just not one boat that does exactly all. I love my 30, but I can't go catch a redfish in the skinny water in it, So kind of know what you want, but kind of get it funneled in a little bit, at least. Okay, this is the type of boat I want before you go shopping is my best advice. And I got to say, man, you can be tough to find a better value than a Sea Chaser or Carolina Skiff. It's just, I don't think you can find it for the money. For everything I have on my boat, I don't think you can find that for what it costs.
Robert, are there things that you want our listeners to know about Carolina Skiff and Sea Chaser in terms of the company? I know you've been with the company for a long time. How long have you been with Carolina Skiff LLC?
Well, I'm working on my 28th year, and Carolina Skiff brand has been around since 1983. So 30 plus years, the brand has been around. The Sea Chaser brand has been around just about that long as well. But what do we do? I mean, we try to make boating affordable for people. That's what our goal is. We come, the founders came from a whole fishing background and wanting a boat to kind of do everything from skinny water to deep water. And it just kind of grew from there. But it's just building affordable boating for families. That's what our goal is.
Don, can you tell us a little bit about Hook the Future TV and how Carolina Skiff has been a part of all of that?
Sure. 18 years ago, we started Hook the Future TV. It was about taking kids fishing and spending time on the water with the kids. I've been a charter captain for so many years, and I just thought, what's the funner thing to watch? I love taking kids fishing. It's the funnest. We're all like kids when we go hook a fish anyway. I've seen you hook a fish. You look like a 12-year-old girl when you're hooked up. You know what I mean? You get so smiley. You know what I mean? That's that inner whatever. So we're all kids at heart, and so I've been a year into the show. I lost my son, Brian. He was 22, and it just, man, I miss him every day. Best hugs in the world. And so for us, the mission just changed. It was about spending time with your kids. When I lost Brian, it didn't matter what kind of truck I had or how big my boat was or what money in my bank account. It was the time I spent with him. And he loved to fish. There was nothing better than fishing. And he whipped me in fishing. Like, hunting too. I used to say, like, God, why'd you give him that deer? He didn't earn that, And I used to tell people he could catch fish out of a mud puddle, and so the best memories that I have are fishing with Brian. And so, we do these kids fishing clinics. I make a lot more money charter fishing, but we do these kids fishing clinics that we really teach people how to fish and the kids how to fish. We don't sell out. We tell them, what's the first thing you got to know when you go fishing? Pick up species. Where's he live in the water column? What's the tricks of catching him? All those kind of just basic things to do it. Before you know it, we have the parents asking questions. And then at the end, we tell them, listen, put down the phone. Today, kids are busier than we are. When I call a kid and say, you just want a chance to be on Hook the Future, they're like, well, he's got soccer 3 times a week. He's on the traveling baseball team and violins on Tuesday, And so our kids' schedules are and we don't mean to as parents, but we don't take a step back as often as we should. And so Carolina Skiff, over the years of being with them, it's been over a decade with these guys, and especially Robert, we'd be at boat shows and we used to have an unlimited source of rod and reels, and that dwindled. And then the boat shows had to buy rod and reels, and then they would only buy so many. And so the kids' clinics started getting smaller instead of bigger because we didn't have the supplies to do them. And so when Robert saw that and went and talked to the other people at Skiff and all, they stepped up and bought us a container full of our own custom rod and reels. And these are like $30 combos for kids. We made the rod 4-6 so dad wouldn't steal it. You know what I mean? And really cool spinning outfits, real, you can go catch a redfish or a trout or a bass with them, and give something that they have the opportunity to succeed in what we teach them. If you can't go do it after you've done the class, what good's the class? And there's a lot of people that weren't blessed like us that had parents that took them fishing and showed them. They don't know what they're doing. And so sometimes you get really intimidated with that. We teach them the basics. And for us, Carolina Skiff is just like, they're part of my family because of that. And I just got off the phone with a guy at the Tampa Outdoor Expo. He's like, can you come? How many rod and reels can you bring? I'm like, how many you need? How many kids can you have? Can we get 1,000 there? I'll bring 1,000. And so when you're able to reach that kind of people with that kind of message, and do something as silly as fishing, how blessed am I? And Carolina Skiff helps us do that.
Robert, do you have anything to say about that?
We love what Don does. Everything that we do kind of backs with Don and what his mission is. That whole idea of Hook the Future, that's kind of that mission and goal that we've always had into the grow boating. It's going to start at that young level. If we don't teach our kids to fish, if we don't teach our kids to go boating, it's going to get lost.
Well, everybody's saving the fish, but nobody's trying to save the fishermen.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? And
Exactly.
you know, there's plenty of fish. So and I feel like we a few years ago we kind of lost a gap in a generation. Like the tournaments went down for whatever reason. Things like in 05, 06, the economy crashed. We lost a lot of a group there. But I got to say, they're coming back. There's more 20-year-olds and 30-year-old young dads out there fishing now than ever.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
good
agree.
sign. Robert, how can our listeners find out more information about Carolina Skiff and Sea Chaser?
Well, we make it very easy. We're on social media definitely. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, carolinaskiff.com, seachaser.com. Those are ways to find out more information. I mean, and watching TV shows like Hook the Future, you can easily get more information that way, and seeing how the boat is actually fishable. And then just go on the website, go visit a dealer. We have lots of ways.
Robert, what's your dealer network like? I mean, do you have a focus? I mean, Florida is obviously a big state for saltwater fishing.
Yeah, Florida is a big state for us, but our dealer network is great. When you think of Florida, we have a dealer. Really, kind of seems like it's just about every county, but we have a great dealer network in the state of Florida. We have a great dealer network all over. We range from Texas over to Florida, and from the Keys all the way up to Maine. Mainly concentrated on the East Coast, but we have a great dealer network.
And you just go to carolinaskiff.com or seachaser.com, and you have a link for dealer to find dealers in your area?
Absolutely. You go to any one of the websites, you go to the dealer locator, it's right on the front nav bar. You'll see where it says find a dealer. You click on that, you enter in your zip code, and it's going to pull up a couple of dealers that are close by you.
Don, where can we see Hook the Future?
It's currently on the Sportsman's Channel. Then it rotates over to World Fishing Network and now Bali Sports Southeast. Used to be Fox Sports. So we're still available to over 100 million households. Have been doing it for a long time and very blessed. And just lots of new episodes. We just got back. We did one in Costa Rica. We had Permit in Boca Grande, Goliath Grouper and Stewart. So really blessed to get back on the road and get out there fishing and put this virus behind us.
Amen to that. Jim, do you have anything to add? Any other questions?
No, I appreciate all the info and look forward to seeing you out on the road and on the water.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. And for Sport Fishing, this is Chris Woodward. Good fishing.